My guild leader's laughing because he's explaining that somebody brought up that they might be bringing some more elements of WoW into 14. I mean, we have some similar things anyway. But there's an old video of an old world boss that somebody kited. The video is called Kha'Zix Does Stormwind. It's this demon called Lord Kha'Zix that has an attack that basically hits everything in sight with these shadow bolts, and the shadow bolts heal him for 5% of his health for everyone that hits. Well, at the time was back in Vanilla WoW, when level cap was 60 and the guards were the same level. I don't think they got above 60 at that time. They're higher now because level cap is higher, but so basically somebody kited the guy, or kited this demon into Stormwind. And so every NPC, every PC that re-reses after they've been hit the first time, because this thing is like takes a raid of like 20 or 40 people to kill him. So basically one hit to anyone that's under 60 and doesn't have the gear for him, you're gonna die. So there's this old video. It's called Kha'Zix Does Stormwind. Well, a mage, because at the time mages were really great for kiting and pretty much the only class that could do it. A mage kited him into Stormwind, which is a popular city, kind of like Ul'dah here. It's one of the major cities of the Alliance, and there are a ton of people here. Now, this is also back in Vanilla, where your cities weren't really linked together as far as communication or auction houses or any of that. So it's kind of funny because you see the mage that pulled him up to the gates, and then the guards start attacking him, and then he just starts being trained through the city by these various guards that keep showing up, because the guards will just keep spawning, and it was made to do that. Like the city was made to do that, because you used to have like horde raids that would run into Stormwind, and if they ran out of guards, I mean, there's only like 6 guards around the gate. Well, if you kill all those guards, they need to respawn more, so that's what they did. So it's just this video of this demon lord just going through, and it doesn't fire out one shadow bolt at a time. It fires out like 20. It's like a wave. So it hits like every PC, every NPC, and you just see PCs just dropping right where they are. And they don't know any better, so they respawn. Well, you have to run back to your body, so you respawn exactly where you were. Well, if he's still in the area, you're going to get hit again. So it's kind of funny. Oh, but the reason my guild leader was talking about it was because apparently, because of that and because of the way that worked, the NIH, which I'm not sure what that stands for, later used that incident to help model worldwide pandemics. There was also another one, which is just as funny. Again in Vanilla, back in Vanilla WoW. Because it was prior to it was prior to the cities being able to talk to each other. And I forget what you'd have to look up. I think you could look up Imp Bomb and it would probably pop up. Like, wow, Imp Bomb. So it's this old boss. And he could... What are we running? Xelphatol. Astrologen, okay. Oh, so basically he had this disease that would create. And what would end up happening was the disease would cause damage after a certain amount of time. Like, it would count down, it would have like 30 seconds. Well, after the countdown, it would explode. It would do a ton of damage. Well, if anybody died, or was... No, was it... If anyone took damage from it, then they would then get the disease. And it would start again. So the funny part was, though, if anybody died, everybody that was within so many yards of them, or so many feet of them, took damage because they exploded. So there was this old video of this warlock who had a imp that was summoned, so it is a pet class, kind of like Summoner in this one. So there was a glitch, because basically when the disease showed up, you were supposed to get rid of it or let it time out while whoever had it was far away from the party. Well, what actually ended up happening was this warlock dismissed his imp, and the glitch was that the disease stayed with the imp. So basically what ended up happening was he resummoned the imp. I don't know if it was on purpose just to see what would happen, or he was just kind of didn't think about it. But turns out he summoned it inside Ironforge, inside where the auction house guy was. So I'm imagining he had a pretty good idea what was going to happen. So there's NPCs all around, just regular NPCs that aren't like high level or anything. So he summons this imp and then waits for it. Yeah, he must have had a pretty good idea what was going on, because he actually, like, waited for the countdown of what was going to happen. And all of a sudden, what you see is this imp. The disease goes off on this imp, and he explodes. But when he goes off, it sets off everything in the surrounding area. And you can just watch it like this wave going through this city. Because you got NPCs that are getting damaged, and they're okay the first time, but then they get hit a second time and a third time. And then PCs just dying left and right, like player characters just dying left and right. I think that's actually what our what my guildmate was talking about, as far as like them using something in WoW as a model for a global like cataclysm. I remember this one now. Okay, healer wants bigger pulls. You got it. Ta-da! Okay. Do, 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 do. Alright, I think we're close to the last boss. Yep. 9 seconds. Okay. Cool. Code of Casting.